you, how did you change in the last few years? What do you think about that?
Yes. Yeah, we can. Yeah, what did I change on our way to work and to produce? To be completely honest, not we didn't change a lot of things. In fact, because it's more on our normal way of winemaking. We are olive growing. We are organic from, I would say, more than 20 years now. It's just an sort of evidence when you are a winemaker, because it's more on the traditional winemaking and agriculture. We always had this vision of preservation and balance between production and nature. So for the few last year, we changed, yes, of course, because we are more careful on our practices, more conscious about sustainability, more on the explanation of what we do for many years, probably like you do, and of course we are more on. We take more care on the details, I would say, packaging, lower energy consumption, all those things who are just around the main part of the job, which is the production. So for me, it's not details, but it's a part of the global way of farming, and with the sustainability vision we need and we have already. So, but probably like you already do, or I don't know if you change many things on the process of the farming.
We actually, I think, gave name to it, because in the last 10 years we've been participating in the development of the local sustainable farming program for Sicily. I don't really believe in you know, bigger like national or continental regulations, because as we all know, the conditions are changing so much. And for us being on an island, even, for example, transportation and other resources are a little bit different. So what we really fought for was to build up an own regulation, and then since 2010 we were working on that with the Sustainable Agricultural Department of the University of Piacenza, and with another family producer with Tasca. And last year we arrived to the point that it became a foundation, and now it's under the DOC Sicilia. So we are trying to do something, but it was happening also in California, to try to get in also other producers. After our experiences, we want to really make it island wide, let's say it like that, in Sicily. And I think also in your production conditions, it's quite easy to be
Yes.
to be organic. So that's why we also take it as a natural, but we try to go more for the whole process, ambiental wise and also social responsible wise. It's, I think, good to analyze the whole process
Yes.
around.
Yeah, for sure. Even if, of course, the production is our main activity, and it's for you and for me, the normal way to produce is to have to be very responsible of the future of the farm, the balance of the product.
Exactly.
Of course, no sulfates, but yes,
Exactly.
it's more a global
Yeah.
view with all what, not detail, but all the parts which make your activity and your story more consistent. That means you employ, of course, local people. You don't use materials from, I don't know, the other part of the world. You manage and reduce the water using, and you try to use the natural resource you have here on the estate. Yes,
exactly. And both these parts are super rich yet in these sources. That's what we have to see. And I think that's what also the last year, I don't know what has happened in your life, but in our life, what has happened is that finally we had also time to live it a bit. I've never been so much in the vineyard, and I've never been so much in the cellar than in 2020. So obviously, with all the difficult parts and all the sufferances around, it also gave us, I think, a new way, not a new, it's an old new way of living it and of seeing it and of managing it from back home.
Yes,
So finally,
it's just take you back, more focus on the basis, probably on the production and the environment and the global environment. And yes, of course we have big changes, social changes, everything is changing and the nature is changing. It's an evolution because we really look at that more precisely than we did before, because it was just in a feeling. We knew that it works like this, but now we try to measure it, which is
exactly.
more difficult. It takes a lot of time.
It's boring. It's boring often, but you already start to the classic example of all the cellars. We have 5 boutique wineries, and we started to put up all the simple measuring equipment, and we started to save water as if there would be no tomorrow, just because the people see the numbers running in front. So
and sometimes it's not a big job to measure it, and sometimes a big job just to explain what we do and what we did for many years, and just put names on our principles, just to get the best, I don't know, the best consistency of the global farming we do. And it's not only the wine production, it's not only the harvest. A lot of people say, oh, the harvest is done, so yes, the job is done. No, sorry, it's just 4 weeks in a year, but it's our job is also to not to explain too much, because we are also here to just give products for people to enjoy first. If they want to look at what does exist there behind the bottle of oil or bottle of wine, yes, they can see how we work and how long it is to work, and what we the many factors we have to take care before producing, or to produce this type of products as you do or as I do. Because it's a way of life, it's a way of working, just to get the balanced product, just for people to enjoy. Not, they don't have to think that there's a lot of work behind that and there's a lot of energy saving. No, it's not the problem. But it must be just balanced.
Those are layers. Those are all layers, and it's difficult to you said it perfectly, that sometimes it's really difficult to communicate it, because for us that's the natural and that's the everyday life. But very often I get annoyed about the questions, and I always tell to people, just come and sit into my car and just follow a week, and then you will start to understand what it's all about. And but what was for me, for example, I think what they are always surprised about is when they come to the farms and they understand that all these areas where we are working are purely agricultural, and how much people who are living here are based on these productions yet. Which is giving obviously a huge responsibility in our hands, and it's even more important than the obviously we are all egoist enough to think only about the final quality of the product, but I think the real question, the real sustainability has to be also to see the whole process from producing it in the most tolerant and soft way from an ambiental point of view, but then also to make an economy, to create an economy which is sustainable also from this point of view. Because if not, if I make the best wines in the world, but I'm not able to explain and sell them, then how will I keep together the team which I keep together now in the years? So that's something which is, I think it's exciting when you enter to it after the first decades of work, when you don't only see the details in the cellar, but you get the whole picture, then it starts to be the real game.
Yeah, that's a real game, but for us, it's the game. But for the consumer, yeah, they have to know that we have to just learn them a little bit of what is, in reality, what's our job and what's the activity of a wine or a wine and olive farm. Yeah, because more often people ask me when they come on the farm, why did you do that? Yeah, it's I can't say it's too long to explain, but there's so many factors who comes before the decision, and sometimes it's just it's probably in your mind somewhere, but it's, you know why exactly, and the reasons are sometimes scientific, sometimes just feeling, but there's too many things, I would say, to explain, and that's the most difficult probably.
It's always funny because people are asking you when if the harvest is the difficult part, as you said before. But for me, actually, it's only to decide the first day of the harvest and the first variety of the harvest, and then it's all a flow, because then the plants are helping you. But those first days are really the decision makers for the whole year of the work, because there you have the agronomist who's looking at your shoulder and wants you to harvest. There is your idea about the perfect wine for which you would like to wait. There are the weather forecasts. There are the 120 people with the skizzers ready, and there you are doing the real decision. And obviously, in the meanwhile, you have to take care about all the quality requirements to be secure and food safety wise on the top also. So but that's a moment when you also have a great adrenaline, I think. So that's I really love it. Obviously, it takes away at least 2 years from your life, but in the meanwhile, you are on the best spot of your of your life.
Yeah, because you are completely focused on these points, and it's not my holidays, because it's a big part of the job, and it's a big rhythm, but you are never tired. And but
Holidays, what's that?
everybody know that you are focused on the harvest, so nobody disturb you. It's the perfect moment. But yeah, people don't have to yeah, they have to know that. But again, when they just enjoy a bottle of wine, or just some oil on the plate, they just have to be sure on what they eat or drink. They have to be sure that it's safe, that it's balanced, that it's not a no sense production, I would say. Sorry, it's a pure French translation, but that's the most important probably. Yes, that's our job to do that, not in a secret, but behind the production, just to release the most safe and balanced product, I think.
And I think what is good now is that all these areas which we've been speaking about today are able to provide something to people what they started to look for again. They are usually full of 0-kilometer vegetables and all the other ingredients which the wine world also, but also the connecting tissues, the connecting producers are more and more focusing about. And I think if we just get together with these other small artisan projects, then we can really offer something which is how to say, some good slice of a better rhythmed old life in a good way, which I think there is more and more requirement to find it.
Yeah, to come back to a more reasonable life, I think, a more reasonable rhythm of life. But it's more often the way we live For a part, we live in the country.
Exactly.
When we are out of big cities, of course, you take your vegetables to the vegetable grower just next door. Of course, you will buy. So it's just a part of the good sense, I think.
Exactly. But I hope we can welcome everybody who was listening and watching soon
Yeah,
in our estates, and maybe we can visit each other too.
I hope so.